Okay, recording. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of How Did We Get Here? I'm your host, Jay Carter, and the man that is always heard and never ever seen, Skeens,
And it should stay that way.
aka Dr. Claw, aka the Wizard of Oz, aka the Background Killer,
See,
and another aka to come soon.
on the way, man.
On the way. Again, welcome to the show. Better Than Your Average is the channel and the movement. How Did We Get Here is the show. We got two cousins that are like brothers talking any and everything in the process. How did we get here? Just wanted to jump on with y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're using our our Riverside chat little application here. We're working some things out, man. This pod will be dropping on YouTube. It'll also be dropping on Spotify. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. But make sure that y'all go and subscribe to the channel. You can check us on YouTube by looking up Better Than Your Average. And you can also look us up on Spotify at Better Than Your Average with Jay Carter and Skeens. But again, welcome to the show, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support, man. But we are filming this a couple days out from Mother's Day. So first and foremost, we want to shout out to all the beautiful ladies and mothers that are out there. First of all, salute to my mother, Barbara Lanice Carter, my wonderful mother, and also my wife, Elizabeth Ann Carter. Also want to shout out to my mother-in-law, Young Deal, and I mean, there's so many other ladies and mothers and out there, but we want to send y'all love, peace, and blessings. And Skeens, I know you want to shout out.
Sure, my mother, aka my mommy. And yes, I still call her my mommy in person, in public. I still lay on my mother in public, even though she is my ankles, but it's all good. Mary Jackson.
Yeah, for
AKA
sure.
my queen, my mommy.
Yeah, salute to Aunt Mary, man. She, we call each other. Well, she started years ago. She'll call me favorite, but she got a play word. She called me her favorite nephew. So, another one that took me, treated me like, her own. And funny story, I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was telling me how Skeens, when he was a baby or a toddler, he used to say the time. So anytime you're gonna put these together, anytime you would ask Skeens when he was a kid, they would go to the store. They ask him, "Does he want anything?" He wouldn't say 7 Up. His word was Share Up. When he was a kid, he would say Share Up, not 7 Up. So he would get mad when they would ask him what time it was. That he would say instead of what was it? What
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. But he used to say some. What was it? The number you was reading? No, the number.
The phone number.
Yeah.
I still remember our first phone number.
So it was whatever.
53503.
Yeah.
7 Up. Hey, that's my way to remember it.
So he would say that Share Up though.
As a preschooler, they make you remember your address and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's crazy. So now most people don't remember their phone number or anything.
Right.
But yeah, I still remember my first phone number.
Right.
I still remember my first cell phone number.
Right.
I remember how pretty much all 3 of our house phone numbers.
Well, I remember that took me down. I used to have to know Liz's house number by heart. Then I still remember our Copper's code number was 5427151.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember that. Now this phone, the cell, y'all, I've had like the same cell phone number. I think the whole time I've had a cell phone. So I've had the same cell phone number for it's like 20 years now. I've had the same freaking number. So Skeens though, he could remember numbers very, very well.
Hey, man,
very, very well.
A different time.
Different time, but that brother could see a number. Oh, that's such a, I was like, bruh, how do you remember that many numbers, babe? But anyway, man, I think it's just key, man, again, as we salute our mothers, man. I always talk about how my mom has been one of my biggest champions my entire life. And, where I got a lot of my confidence and just the way I move about it, and I'm compassionate with people and my ability to communicate with people. And some of y'all that know me to do impressions and voices, believe it or not, it comes from my mom is a great impressionist as well. She does great impressions of people. Skeen, I think it run the family because your mom,
yeah,
Aunt Mary, is one of the greatest
hilarious
storytellers you have ever. Because just some of the most random, crazy stuff happens to her. That you be like, what? Somebody came up and asked you what? So I think that kind of runs in the family. But again, Skeens and I are both you know, proud mama's boys. We still communicate with our moms often. My mom will call, or I'll call, and we'll stay on the phone hours, because she'll be cooking and cleaning. And then if Skeens is in the background, she be trying to talk to him half of the way. Yep. And
I mean, you got to think, for the most part, she was like my backup mother.
She was, for real.
Even when I moved here, right?
Yeah.
A lot of time when you was at work, when I graduated,
yeah.
When I graduated a semester early, so I'm at the house doing nothing.
Yep.
And then when she get off, she's like, "Hey, you want to go to PX?" Yep. Nobody wanted to go to PX with her but me.
Ain't that the truth?
We're gonna go hang out or try new recipes and different things like that.
Yep.
So but that goes to the story of it takes a village.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So outside of just our mothers, we've had other mothers around.
Yeah, man.
Dominic, his mom was like another mother.
Like another mother, yeah.
Rest in peace to Kuma's mother.
Oh man, yeah, for sure.
Mother
man.
To us.
Yep.
Miss B, her and Rico, they was like my local parents. The phrase they are level. They're very eccentric people.
Yeah.
Some of the most educated people I've ever met.
Yeah.
But we've had different women in our lives that have added value to us to help build the people that we are, and those different building blocks in terms of character development.
Yeah,
which we are able do our best to try to share that with other people in the little ways that we can.
Yeah,
try to impact others, and hopefully that the minuscule impact that we make onto them, they can take the ball and run with it, and 1,000-fold and impact the lives of other people.
Yeah. Again, just shout out to Auntie Fran. Fran.
Yeah, absolutely.
Francis, man.
SDT, homie.
Well, I'm telling you, again, we've just been so blessed and fortunate to have, y'all hear Skeens and I always talking about relationships and talking about family. And because of the ability that we have, and then the family has, a building relationship, it extends the family even more. You know what I mean? Again, I already mentioned her, but shout out to my mother-in-law. I mean, I always joke, and Skeens know that I'm the favorite kid.
Absolutely.
I get whatever I want. I got this little Korean mother-in-law who, she cooks for us every day. She takes care of me. We had a winter storm here in Texas, and we didn't have power at the house. And we luckily, like, they stayed just the equivalent of a few blocks away, and they had power, everything. And in the middle of the night, I feel something, and it's her like covering my feet up on the couch with blankets, and just all type of stuff like that. When Skeens comes by, she rolls out the red carpet for him. So we just been blessed and fortunate, and I want to give a shout out, again, to my wife. And we're gonna take a little bit of a tangent. Is that I was talking with Liz about, and a lot of y'all see that this red pill mind frame right now, and the manosphere and all this stuff is big. Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit podcast, O'Shea Duke Jackson, mediocre tutorials and reviews, and so on and so forth. And one of the things that is being more popularized right now is kind of a movement where they're talking about things that men look for in a spouse or a significant other, right? And I was sitting and reflecting on it that I appreciate my wife because when it comes to our kids, she's crunk in a certain way. In her business life and when she was in leadership roles, she's a certain way. But for the most part, in our interactions, that chick, she, I mean, her submissive button for me is just like, it's like instant. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, Skeens and I always talk about different business endeavors and ventures and things that we're working on, and I just come to it because I do have a relationship with, and that's the thing I think sometimes that we miss in relationships that dudes like, everybody want to be an alpha. Everybody want to run around talking about they alpha and all that. And that, I'm just this overbearing force on my wife. But nah, it's when I'm thinking about making a move or doing something, I do communicate with her. And I mean, she just be, okay, what's up? Let's do it. You know what I mean? So,
but it reminded me of the movie, you don't know if you'll watch The Ugly Truth.
Nah, I ain't never seen
It's
that.
a man from 300.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, but they had a little scene when the two, I guess they have like a little show. The guy and the female, they're a married couple, but they're like on there. He's like, "You don't let him be a man. It's
Right.
not his fault that you make more money than me." They're like, "God darn it, let me be a man."
Right,
That's
right.
the situation.
Yeah.
But also, in the quote unquote manosphere, red pill, all this different thing is all it is just another code word for uh respectfully listen to me and take in what I'm saying, and don't basically look at me as if my words don't matter.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's all it is. Whether
that's the simplified version.
Whether you're talking from a quote unquote feminist standpoint or the manosphere, it's just different people that have these different ideologies that want to be heard.
Right.
But sometimes it's almost like the LeVar Ball perspective.
Say more.
We look at how things are said instead of what's
being said. Yep.
Even with the Kevin Samuel.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Some people don't like his doctrine, the way that he talks, but no one's ever said he was wrong.
Right.
Because he talks about, we all it always gets lost because the clickbait worthy phrases that he says about you're gonna die alone.
Yeah, you're average
or,
at best.
Or average at best, or how value men. But if you really listen to what he said, he's talking about the first thing he tells people or women, what's wrong with the average guy? That's one.
That's the part that gets lost in the sauce every time.
There's nothing wrong with being with the average guy that's going to love you.
Yes.
And number two, if you have issues and you've identified that you have issues,
right,
seek therapy first.
Yes, he always champions therapy as well. Yep.
You can't be damaged goods attaching seeking to be in a relationship with someone, and that person is damaged good as well.
Right.
What's going to happen is you're going to damage each other further.
Yep.
In the midst of this power struggle of two damaged people.
Yep. Indeed.
And that goes forth when you see and you damage your kids.
Right.
Hurt people.
Yep.
And we have some people that we know that have horrible relationships with their parents, and we talk about excuse me, I couldn't imagine having a bad relationship with my dad and my mother. Even when my dad wasn't around, my dad is tight.
Right.
My parents are arguably some of my best friends.
Yes, indeed.
And I've talked both of them tonight. I talk to them on a regular basis about any and everything.
Yeah.
But that's because we have healthy relationships.
Yep. And here's the thing. I was having a discussion with my boss the other day, and we was going all the way around discussing something. And what I was sharing with her is that, y'all, one of my, as you'll see people talk about, you got to find out what are you good at and kind of what is your superpower in life. And my superpower Skeens, is my compassionate heart, and that I truly love building relationships. And then, as I always talk about, when you love people, it's not just I love people only when they're doing what I want them to do. I love them in all the different shapes and forms and positions that they may come in. You know what I'm saying? And I was sharing that with her. And that's how you have to be with your relationships, and where you're even willing to take the high road sometimes in certain aspects. If you're the bigger person, to maintain and salvage that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, as Skeens was saying, man, I talk to my mom multiple times a week. I call my dad. Uh, we both into this, trying to get our wind up in the cycling thing. They get mad because all y'all be talking about the cycling, and what we do, we get on and talk about. We talk. Hey man, how was your last few rides and this and that, and
but they're still bonding.
I'm building with him.
But also what you talk about your superpower. You know what that brings up?
What?
One of our favorite songs. Can You Stand the Rain?
Yeah.
Listen to the word.
Yeah. I wish I had it queued, but yeah.
Fair weather friend.
Yeah, that's what it's talking about. Yeah.
Oh, even Johnny Gill other song, Fair Weather Friend.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Be there to the end.
Yeah.
Even through stormy weather.
Yeah, Skeens and I, again, to go back, and we're gonna go back to Kevin because I wanted to talk about that because that's been on. We've been. Also want to bring up, make sure we talk about this John Sally whole thing.
Side note for the people that say, you just ride with Kevin. Kevin talk about women, but Kevin also tells men, do the work.
Do the work. Again, the beginning of his
do the work.
When he was talking about men and holding men accountable, nobody cared because that's par for the course.
Well, because that is the talking point that has been championed for ages about talking about men in a certain manner and men being able to take it.
Right. Here's the thing. I wasn't going to go, but let's stay here. As men, right? You oftentimes will see when there's discussion with women that you will bring up the outliers all the time. When we talk in generality on these public platforms and forums, because there's no way that we can ever account for every isolated situation. We got to talk in general to get towards the middle of kind of what's going to happen in the general population, right?
The general is the
that's the norm. The norm. That's the norm. That's why we talk in generalities, y'all. And shout out to our homeboy Zoe Williams. Some but not all. Some but not all. You know what I'm saying? So men in general, right? The way society is set up, Jay nor Skeens is going to try to shoot at Rihanna.
No.
Because I know where I fall in the pecking order of the world. That chick is, unless Rihanna just came and threw it at me, I'm not going to try to shoot my shot at Rihanna.
Prior marriage.
Right.
Because it's going to be somebody, so you said that you would cheat on you.
No. Again, hear what I'm saying.
Unfortunately.
Yes, you do have to give this.
There's somebody out there that's going to be an idiot enough to try to spin it.
So, with that said, men understand there's levels to this game. So, in general, men shoot where they know that we know where our level is for a long time. And so that's the area of the pool that we swim in. Women, however, have been conditioned to think, again, I'm the prize. It's all about me. And what do I bring to the table? I bring me. So woman.
Well, no, sir. I am the table.
I am the table. Yeah, that too. I'm the table. I'm the cloth. It's me. And if you want to challenge a woman, ask her what does she bring to her relationship and see what you hear.
Outside of
viscosity.
So,
but outside and viscosity, y'all, is the sex. Because most women, I bring good sex. Take sex off of the table. Take viscosity off of the table. Ask yourself, what do you bring to the table?
We have to remove sex the same way we remove a man's wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two key ingredients of what, they say the man brings the wallet, the woman brings the sex. Okay, let's throw those away.
Right. Let's take that out.
Now let's talk about the real people, the real person, the real makeup, or the
Right.
cloth by which you're made up of.
Right.
We're
Right.
gonna talk about that on another episode.
Yeah. Cloth talk.
About cloth talk.
Cloth talk.
But let's talk about you as people,
Mm-hmm.
because we have to make sure that we choose the right people in our lives in whatever facet of your life that you want that person to be in.
Right.
Too often, unfortunately, we mate with the wrong people. Which in turn,
ding 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 ding.
Yeah. So we talked about it before. For example, and this is just a tangent because that's what we go on. Black men are rated number one in fathers in certain polls.
Okay.
Number one father.
Yep.
They
I already hear y'all disagreeing with that, but go ahead.
It's a fact. You can look it up. These are stats. They're rated number one in terms of time spent, terms of like hanging out with your kids.
Yep.
Educational stuff to helping your kids with homework. But then we talk about how bad the fathers are.
Right.
Because you chose the wrong father. You can't be the best and be the worst at the same time.
Right.
The worst is because you chose the worst one, and that worst one wasn't the one.
Right. There you go.
So we choose the right one. That stat of saying that black fathers are the best is real because you chose the best father.
There you go. Yeah.
And that goes with us as men also.
Yeah.
We can't always look at let the looks be our end all be all,
right?
Or let the box be everything, because looks fade away.
Absolutely.
And when she's mad at you, you can't have the box. So,
right.
What else can you do?
Right.
What else do you all have in common?
Right.
As you talk about, you want to be able to do anything and nothing,
and be full.
Exactly. You want your cup to run over with love.
Yeah.
And understanding.
Yeah.
But as we talk about the we got the manosphere, the feminine movement, all these different things. This tug of war, and we're having a tug of war instead of having a building session.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, is building. But we get so caught up, again, as you say, in the delivery of the message. But is it factual? Is it true? Is it beneficial? You know what I'm saying?
Listen to the message. Some of the I've realized, right? It's the medicine. How often do you find medicine that you enjoy?
That you just love? I can't wait to take this.
But does the medicine work?
There you go. That's it.
So don't forget the taste. Look for we're too willing to look for the wrong in people.
Yeah.
Instead of looking for what does this person bring to the table? What's their best attribute? And do their best attribute bring value to my life, as well as does it overshadow the minuscule whatever it?
Yeah, we don't evaluate each other on what's profitable and what we can glean. Again, as we learn, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Because there's something that I could take or leave in every conversation, but I try to focus on the parts of it that I can take and grow and learn something from. No different than this information that we talk about, that how, again, we talk about the way that Kevin Samuels talks, but sometimes you have to get bust upside the head to get you to kind of come back into reality. It's no different than when you're working out, when you're training. That stuff is hard, but that's where the growth happens.
When you hire, for the people that go to the gym or even play this, just let's say talk about going to the gym.
Yeah.
Or at your house, or New Year's resolution. I'm gonna get in shape for different things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hire a trainer if you were gonna do it yourself.
Okay, let's talk about it.
And that trainer is not gonna pat you on your back and tell you how great you are, because if you was that great, you wouldn't be hiring me.
Right. There you go.
And you would have already done it.
There you go.
Sometimes we need to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you need to be shamed into greatness.
Absolutely. And we in this day and age, we don't like to be shamed into any. And it's some things you should be ashamed of.
We need to more of us need to be shamed into greatness.
Yeah, there you go.
We talk about, for example, and I don't want to go talk too long tonight. How much we hated Donald Trump
Mm-hmm.
for the majority, for a large majority of black people,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
The one thing Donald Trump did was make you realize that, hey, I need to do better.
There you go. Boom.
I need to be better, because as much as I hated him,
yeah,
I realized I can't depend on him and his leadership. In my opinion, for the ones that disliked him in that stand, I can't depend on that type of leadership to take care of me or give me what I need. So I need to do the things necessary for me.
There you go.
It's the same thing when you listen to Kevin. Don't get caught up in the message. Get in the tone or what. Understand that there is a faction of people that agree. If there wasn't if his message did not resonate and have some form of truth to it, you wouldn't be doing the numbers.
Right. Exactly. Well, here's the thing too. When and Skeens and I talk about this, is that we oftentimes, believe it or not, guys, listen and look at things that are contrary to our position to condition ourselves to hear things that are contrary, and then still be able to find the nuggets of, even though I don't agree, hey, there's a piece in it, because that helps you with your listening skills.
That's why we have our brother Kai on here. Third member. Shout out to my brother and his family and all that.
Yeah.
Wait, contrary. He's a great
absolutely.
He's a great contrarian.
Absolutely.
But within those discussions, we learn from each other.
We glean off of each other. Yes.
Because you want to look at life and look at things through the other person's perspective. That's why I love that show. I told you 000.
Oh yeah. That's a dope show.
If you have Amazon Prime, I would suggest watch the show. It's a great show, but
it's great on perspective and point of view,
because it shows the perspective from all three sides.
All angles.
They say it's your truth, his truth, her truth, and then
the truth.
The truth.
Yep.
That's what the show does. It shows you how I view things, how the other person viewed it from their perspective when dealing with me. But then you also see what really happened.
Right, exactly.
So when we having these discussions with people, instead of we want every day to be trash day. We ready to throw everybody out.
Absolutely. Yep.
Sometimes you can dig through the trash and find some one man's trash, another man's treasure.
There you go.
There's a lot of treasure out there, but we have to take away ego.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have to. This that goes to we talk about doing a better job of communication. It's part of our growing up with mothers.
Yeah.
And strong women in our life having the ability to communicate.
Yeah.
Effectively communicate.
There you go. Yeah.
But we also need to do a better job of crisis management, negotiation, and we have to be able to de-escalate everything. Every situation does not have to. We don't have to be on 10 about everything that we don't agree with.
Right. Exactly.
My man Anton has a great statement.
Yeah, from LaPeef podcast. Shout out to them. LaPeef, let's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't speak. What do you say? Speak lower and strengthen your message.
There you go. Right. There you go. Yeah.
But but a lot of what we do, we
talk loud.
Yes. But there's nothing there because you hide.
And we don't have a point.
You're hiding. Yes. You're hiding the information by being
talking loud. Again, the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room, bro. And just to I think if I could surmise Kevin's position, is that there's been lines that have been blurred between the masculine role and the feminine role, right? And as much as we try to blur those lines and say there's not a difference, there is, ladies and gentlemen. Again, We are the most educated, the most globally connected, the most liberated, but we got the least marriages, the most broken families, and we're doing the most therapy than we ever did in life.
Thankfully, we're finally incorporating therapy.
You know what I'm saying? Because of all of this,
it's long overdue.
But so it's the thing is, guys, is let's say for women, you can have they play around and talk about the 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 pack. Can you have that? Yes. But in general, all of us are going to fall more towards average people. There's nothing wrong with average. And a part of the equation for women, again, because again, every woman can have an anomaly of a situation where I had a homegirl that, and I had a friend that, and I had a, sure, absolutely you can. Absolutely. Anomalies happen. But again, as Skeen and I are talking about, what is the law of averages telling us?
What you said that you made whole. Okay, then
make another whole. Yep.
Outlier. You can't make. We can't use an outlier. In even that statement, he's telling you, I'm an outlier. If this is a common thing, make another me.
That's it.
Recreate the same thing.
Yep, absolutely. So we ain't gonna beat that dead horse. We're gonna come on and talk some more in depth about kind of some of our thoughts on the man and woman role and how we can do better in the relationships, man. But I wanted to talk about I've been seeing whether it goes from the Pepe Le Pew to
Cinderella
now to it came out a few years ago, I think, but it's been making some rounds again where this lady, I believe they were in the UK or somewhere overseas, and she's talking about even with a baby, you need to talk to the baby while you're changing their diaper to get their consent to change their diaper. And so as we in this kind of PC cancel culture age, to throw that in there, we now have trans rights that has come up. And I was watching an interview with John Sally, and he effectively said that he never thought that we should have ever separated girls and boys in sports. Now, John, salute to you. You're a legend, great businessman. You're doing your thing with the veganism and all this other stuff. But why, Skeens, are we in an era where we cannot admit that there are physical differences between men and women that is evident? Now, let me real quick. His example that he used is if average guys went down and I think, say for instance, played with like a Brittany Griner, that she could get busy on some average dudes. Sure. If you can take an exceptional woman in some things and she can get busy on average dudes. But if you take the exceptional man athlete in that sport and the exceptional woman athlete, there is a difference.
Well, there goes one of the Chris Rock jokes. We talk about Chris Rock, a lot of stuff. It's not funny, but
it's just true.
It's true. How you said, you talked about, I am on my street.
Oh yeah, I love this. Yes.
There's an average doctor,
average dentist,
average dentist, but I'm a great comedian.
He said, I'm arguably, I'm a decent comedian. He said, you got Mary J. Blige, who's one of the greatest singers ever, and then you got Jay-Z, who's arguably one of the best rappers to ever live. But that guy,
just an average guy but he stays on my block.
There you go.
So with John, it sounds good when we do, because we're in the clickbait culture.
Right.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
The things that John left out is Brittany is a trained athlete, right?
Yes.
So yes, if you find a regular guy who hasn't been in the gym,
playing at the Y,
who don't hoop,
yeah.
Or if you find you got Brittany 6'7", you say a regular guy. Okay, the regular guys, as we know, most guys aren't 6'2".
Yeah, if Brittany play against me, y'all, she gonna get busy on me
because
she gonna get busy on me.
She's an exceptional person,
right?
But as I showed you, there are different YouTube videos of guys who haven't hooped in years.
Well,
that are out of shape, that handle their business, get former WNBA.
What they had to do, there was
a
Division III player that was getting busy on a WNBA chick.
Because now and I love WNBA. I go way back to Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, and all
Absolutely.
that. You know, when Houston would have they three peats and so on and so
Thompson,
forth.
all of them, yeah.
Cheryl Lobo, Cheryl Miller. I mean, I love women's basketball, but we also have to tell the truth.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Let the women's sport be the women's sport.
Yes, what's wrong with that?
Let them be great in their arena as you allow the men to be great in theirs. We can be equal. We can be separate but equal in those. It does not devalue the worth or the quality of basketball, because in my opinion, fundamentally, the women's basketball is better than men's. Mm-hmm. The only thing they're missing is the athleticism.
Right. I saw something where it was like, what would help viewership is if they lowered the rim.
Well,
and people was like, no, he's like, they already shoot from they got a smaller ball.
They're better shooters.
They 3-point distance is shorter.
But we just have to have to allow the women's sport to be the women's sport.
Yeah.
Now, I would love for the women's sport to be paid a lot more than what they are, which is crazy. But that goes into the brain trust that runs the WNBA and college female basketball. I mean, and things like that, to do those things necessary to make sure that you highlight those sports correctly.
Right.
But with John Sally saying that, right? You remember when they had the transgender wrestler, I guess it was. They used to. There was born as a guy, became a female, and was wrestling females and was destroying these women.
So that's why Vlad, on the interview, Vlad raised the question to him, because where it started from, because John is, I'm trans rights, you know, they shouldn't have, I'm trans rights, but again, when it comes to sports, so he's like, if that's the case, Kevin Durant could be a trans woman, and is he going to go play WNBA?
If he go to WNBA at 7 feet, now, Durant, I'll tell you, in my opinion, he's the greatest scorer, in my opinion, because he has no weakness in his offensive game.
None whatsoever.
I know people will say James Harden and Jordan, he has no weakness. He's basically, year after year, 90, 40, 50. Basically, 90% from the free throw line, 40% from three, 50% from the field. And he can score in all three levels with the best of them.
Yep.
Now, he does that to men at 7'1". Now you put him and say he's a female, he's a transgender, now he's a female now, being guarded by 6'5", maybe 6'7" at best.
At best, yes.
Women.
Yes.
If the 7 feet guy's not blocking the shot, they're definitely not doing it.
Right. That's just
it's just
not a knock.
Now for hey, look, be who you be, all the different things or whatever. Come out with a trans league.
That's what I think has to happen. If
there's enough trans people that want to play sports, create a league.
Yeah, I agree.
Once again, separate but equal. Because for the trans the wrestler that was born as a male became a female, or how I'm not the greatest. Those different things. You can take all the estrogen pill that you want. The testosterone level is still way higher than any female that person was wrestling.
Absolutely. Yes.
And the strength, the broad strength is still greater.
Right. And here's the other thing, Skeens. Let me just put this in, because I know people will hear it and say it's wrong. I'm not saying that, again, men are better than women, but definitely there is a difference. I was showing, I was talking to Tim in the office, and I was showing just the fact of the density of our bones are different. My ability to grip something, my ability to even, in general, do more pull-ups than the average, or hang from something is all a part of just masculinity, having testosterone.
Just the norm. You would never, one phrase you would never have heard in your life.
What's that?
Hey, pick this up for me.
You know what I'm saying? It's just in general.
Based off natural, isn't there?
That's just God given how we are wired, how we're made.
There's nothing wrong with it. There are certain things that women are way better than us men.
Yes.
One, organization. Two, I'm sure that there's no man in this world that will trade places with any mother when it comes to childbirth.
No, I know I wouldn't.
I thank God for him
for coming out on this side.
For me being his begotten son as a man.
Right.
I'm a son.
Indeed.
I appreciate that.
Indeed.
So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with highlighting and appreciating who you are and what you bring to the table.
That's it.
As you bring that to the table, we have to be great in our roles
and we appreciate those. And here we're gonna close out, but it goes back to Skeens and I talked about it. Let's go again, y'all. We're gonna have our shop open soon, man, so y'all can get this merch, man. But it goes back to John Sally, and even here recently, y'all, Caitlyn Jenner, ironically, was like, "Yeah, we don't need to blur these lines of men and women and all. We don't need to do it." But it goes back to people. It's the RealAphobia. It's a phobia of saying the truth and saying what's real. It's real. This is reality. Why are we trying to? And again, to take it all the way back to Kevin Samuels, it's real stuff that we just don't want to hear. Again, can a woman? Again, he talks in the general sense of things, right? In general, there's a certain body type that men are gravitated to. Are there outliers over here and over here? Are there dudes that like women a little more slim? Sure. Are there men that like women a little more thick, a little more heavy? Sure. But then once we come to, most of us are going to fall in the middle in general. But people are like, oh, you bash. No, this is reality. And here's the thing. We'll close out with
love
this.
Love who you love as long as you love the outcome that comes with it.
So, and here's the thing, though, Skeen. Women give their standards, right? You're a champion. You're a woman. You're independent. A man gives his standards. You're toxic.
Hey, man. God bless y'all.
So, again, how do we get here? How do we get to this point where we can't be real about these things? We can't be real to say, hey, man, you got to get your ish together, man.
And more of anything, right? That it kind of goes back, you're talking about when our parents were kids.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got in trouble, your neighbor will get you.
Yep.
And then they'll tell your parents, and then your mom will get you, and then your dad will get you.
Yep.
Why? Because community, for one.
Boom.
And they were willing,
yes,
to correct with love.
Yes, sir.
That's part of these different discussions. So, and also for the people, because I know that once again, there's going to be some idiots that say you pointing fingers, but we also, in the midst of our conversation, we talk to ourselves as well as we talk to each other in the midst of talking, of having these discussions. So it's never a one-sided thing. Our conversation is us looking in the mirror while talking to you at the same time.
Boom, there you go.
So I just wanted to point that out there because I don't want anyone to say, oh, you just trying to tell. No, I'm talking to myself. Hey, yeah. Michael Jackson says, start with the man in the mirror.
That's where it starts at first.
This microphone is the mirror.
That's where it starts at first. And again, if we live in a society where everything goes, everything about me is cool, and I've told you guys this before, Skeens and I have talked about it, we'll tell y'all. Jake can admit that everything about me ain't dope. Yeah. I told y'all before, if I gave y'all a true, let you have access up in here, you be like, that can't be. I'm telling you, it's a You know what I'm saying? So I have to have Skeens. I have to have my wife. I have to have certain mentors and partners. And in my level of maturity where I am right now, I go to Skeens. I go to my different mentors and say, hey, yo, did I miss the mark on this? Was I wrong about this, man? Because I can't be afraid of the truth. Who am I? Who am I as a man and somebody that's trying to be a great husband, a great father, and be an example of my community? If I'm a person that doesn't want to hear the truth about myself, again, I liken it to me personally, because again, we have this thing where again people get on Kevin. Oh, he be talking about chicks' dress size. Da, 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 da. Again, men, we know where the line is. I know as a man to stay at a certain weight and to have a certain aesthetic look that there's things that come with that. And as men, Skeens, do we not know that look, we don't cry and complain about say, well, that's not fair. Dudes go out there and achieve it and become it because we know what the other is looking. We come into a society where again, men put out there the things that they're looking for, and women are trying to tell men that what you like is wrong. But what I like, you need to become. I don't have to change anything. It's a RealAphobia and it's a lack of accountability.
Hey, like I said, you can be who you want.
There you go.
Have what you want as long as you are okay with the outcome.
That's it.
That's all that matters. And as you talk about, we are all regular people.
Yes.
We just have to be legendary in our role as an average person. In your level of average, be great in your level of average.
Yes, better than your average, baby. In your sphere of your world, you're better than your average.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about, y'all. That's what it's about. But we understand again that there's nothing wrong with not being, and what we all try to pretend too is that all of us are outliers and everything. When really, if you just be honest with yourself, you live in an average existence. But that's where. But again, the fact that I just said that like that, people are like, oh.
When did average become offensive?
You know what I'm saying? We want to all pretend like we're exceptional at everything. I am not exceptional. I told y'all, what Jay is good at, communicating, building relationships, having a heart, compassion for people. That's my wheelhouse. Like Will Smith did in Hitch. This is where you live. This is where you live. So where's that place for you to find? Where's that place that you live? Where is that place that you live?
We have to maximize our talent.
Yeah.
At whatever God-given level of talent that you was given.
There you go.
Got to maximize it. Yeah. Every day is a new day to recreate yourself. Because none of us are the same person. We change every day. We evolve every day.
Every day.
Every day is a new relationship with ourselves. Every day is a new relationship with everyone around us.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Mean, on the scoreboard, make sure that your winning percentage is high. That's all that you can do.
That's it. Indeed. But we ain't gonna belabor the point, y'all. We just want to hop on with y'all real quick, man. Again, shout out to all the mothers out there. We want you to have a beautiful, blessed Mother's Day. Relax. Those of y'all that got mothers and wives as mothers, make sure you take care of them, pamper them, take them where they want to go, cook them what they want to eat, all that good stuff.
And just say yes. It ain't about you that day.
It ain't about you that day. But again, this has been another episode of How Did We Get Here? I'm your host, Jay Carter, and the man is always heard and never seen, Skeens, and we will holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.